Gothic horror was and has been a popular genre in literature since the late 1700s. It features a unique use of supernatural elements, remote locations, and artificial terror that have since become stereotypes of the genre through its overuse. Writers and poets, such as the famous Edgar Allan Poe, contributed a psychological process with a unified mood and tone to create a Gothic fiction that plays on the unconscious. This style of Gothic literature has been explored in cinema greatly over the past 80 years, with classics such as Frankenstein, Dracula, to later films The Witch and Crimson Peak. Gothic horror in film employs the elements of light, colour, and composition to evoke emotions that contribute to our interpretation of the film, such as this extract from Robert Eggers' 2015 film The Witch. The use of light, being from one source, a fire, creates the effect of darkness surrounding her. This can also be linked to her pose, arms stretched outwards as if embracing darkness, symbolic of evil and the unknown. The composition of the trees in a linear pattern ascending upwards highlights the effects of Thomason's ascension, also making her a focal point. The use of the colour of fire suggests destruction, however, can also suggest warmth, as Thomason has found happiness in evil. It is Thomason's transformation that sets her free. Every transformation demands as its precondition the ending of a world, the collapse of an old philosophy of life. C.J. Jung. This style frame communicates a sense of coldness from the colour, while also a sense of life through the symmetry. The tree's branches are reminiscent of horns. This is symbolic of the creatures in Christian faith, often featuring horns. The life of the frame is achieved through the symmetry mimicking a creature. Man is all symmetry, full of proportions, one limb to another. George Herbert. If this image was aimed at a younger audience, colours would be more vibrant, and there would be larger focus on the stereotypes of the Gothic genre. This approach would be less intimidating, as recognisable tropes such as Dracula and castles would create the effect of familiarity, removing the threat from the frame. Early Gothic horror had a heavy symbiotic relationship with Romanticism, often being set in a Gothic castle with a female being preyed upon by a monster. The aesthetics of these films mostly featured ornate, decorative environments, low-key lighting, and a monster dressed in black. Common tropes of these films included a woman's love for a man who reveals himself to be a stranger. This can be most prominently seen in Dracula. Gothic horror today still employs these aesthetics, however, a modernised setting in the form of rundown homes and less focus on romanticism. The Gothic horror painting, The Nightmare, shows an innocent woman being manipulated by an external, supernatural force. This trope in Gothic horror brings focus to her through the dress. Lighting is used to show the mare and the creature's relationship with darkness, while the composition of the woman makes it appear as if she is weaker and manipulated by the evil creatures above her. The semiotic nature of the nightmare, through these elements, shows a psychological struggle in a physical form. The Gothic features a psychological impact through the use of semiotic elements with a unified mood and tone.